Hi again. So this is my second vlog, and I'm not sure the lighting's quite perfect yet, but we'll keep working on it. Now, as I'm sure all of you are aware, something very tragic happened in Manchester this week, and being from the UK, it has hit me hard. Being a mother, it's also hit me hard, as I imagine it has many of you. And I was gonna do the whole vlog around what happened, but I feel like a lot of words have already been spoken. Some good, some not so good, and I feel that maybe this isn't quite the place for me to express my feelings on it, except to say I am so sorry for all those affected by the events. It is a terrible tragedy, and I cannot imagine what those parents are going through right now, nor would I ever want to imagine it. And I can tell you that I definitely held my children a little bit tighter after it. But yeah, my thoughts and good wishes and love and support go out to everybody affected, directly or indirectly. Anyone affected by the events, my thoughts are with you, and I have nothing but love for you all. So now that I've said that, I'm going to move on and leave it up to people with far greater intellect and eloquence to speak further on it, and move on to something that I feel more qualified to speak on. So in my last vlog, I talked about how I think that all parents are doing a great job, and we're just trying to muddle through the best we can. And I still think that hasn't changed. But I thought actually to give an indication of what my days can be like, to get past that Instagram filter or the social media filter of life that we're all guilty of, or most of us are guilty of. I thought I'd talk a little bit about what a day in the life of me with my two kids is actually like. So as I said last time, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. My 4-year-old is Rufus, my 2-year-old is Eloise, and they are amazing, but they are also challenging. And I think all parents out there know what I mean by challenging. So I'm just going to give today as an example, because it just happened. It is now 8:24 apparently, and the kids are hopefully asleep, fingers crossed. So, everything's still fresh in my mind, and I feel like I can talk about it now. I've had a breather, some time alone. So my day usually starts at 6:30. That's when the kids wake up. They have one of those grow clocks that has the sun on it in the morning and says, okay, it's time to get up. They know they're not allowed to get up and come into our room until the sun is on their clock. And so now both children, including the 2-year-old, come into our room and say, the sun is on our clock. Or, my 2-year-old says some form of that, but that is essentially what she's trying to communicate. And I am very much pulled out of bed and forced to come downstairs and make breakfast, which usually consists of toast, because it's the least messy thing that they can eat, and therefore is the easiest thing for me to handle at 6:30 in the morning. So they have some toast. He usually has warm milk because it's his favourite. Eloise will ask for warm milk, but if you give it to her, she will take a sip, tell you it's disgusting, and hand it back to you. So instead she gets water. Sometimes a fruit smoothie, depending on the day. And whether she's remembered that fruit smoothies exist. And so yeah, that's the start of my day. And then at around 5 to 8, we start to get dressed. I take no time to get dressed. As you can see, I put very little effort into my appearance, so the reason it took me very long. I just basically sniff clothes, and if they smell okay and there aren't too many obvious stains on them, on they go, and we're ready for the day. And then Rufus he wears a uniform to preschool, so then that's what we do. We just get him dressed in his uniform, which is fairly easy. And then Eloise has decided that she now wants a say in what she wears, which usually means it has to be pink. She's a big fan of pink. Or have Peppa Pig, which, as you'll know, is also pink. Or some kind of flower, something that she deems pretty enough for her to wear. Now, I haven't instilled this in her, as you can see. I'm not someone that sort of represents the girly, sort of overly thought out sort of look. That's not really my thing. And yet, you know, my daughter has taken the reins on that one. So yeah, that's our morning. So then we are out of that. We get dressed, we brush teeth, we're out of the house very quickly. We've got it into a routine now. We're usually out of the house by like 8:20. We live less than a 5-minute walk to from the school, so we go straight to school. Drop Rufus off. He has to like write his name when we first get there, so he writes his name. And then he has to go find a book and sit on the carpet. So there's a sort of a little bit of time there. Eloise at this point is usually desperately trying to get out all the toys in the classroom, and I'm trying to keep an eye on her and at the same time help Rufus, and it's all a bit stressful. And there have been times where Eloise has not wanted to leave, and that's resulted in a few discussions. Anyway, so then we get going, and there's some mornings I will go to the shop and other mornings I won't. It really depends what we need. Today I didn't. Today I brought her back, and she was actually in quite a bad mood this morning. Just getting her nappy changed first thing this morning, because she had done a poo, and at the moment she's in that sort of transitional period where she is aware that she's going to do a poo. She's aware when she has done a poo. She doesn't want to have poo in her nappy, but she also doesn't want to have her nappy changed because she doesn't like the whole process of being stuck in one position, being forced down there and having her bum wiped and all of that. She hates the whole process, but at the same time she refuses to sit on her body. So we're kind of like, well, at some point something's got to win out. So yeah, it's stressful, and yeah, she got herself in a right tizzy this morning, and in fact the only way to get over it was she had to go and sit on the step for a timeout, and at the end of that I just put her straight in the baby carrier and we went to school like that because it was easier. I was in a rush. I didn't really want to be dragging a screaming 2-year-old around the block. So we did that, we dropped him off, we came back. She comes back, she usually has like a snack. I think this morning she might have had a cracker or a breadstick or something like that. Something carby. She's definitely my daughter. She enjoys the carbs. And then she goes down for a nap. And this is my favourite time of the day. It's lovely. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. It's so calm. There's not too much mess because they haven't had enough chance to make enough mess yet. And she is asleep very happily and contentedly, and I know he's having fun at school, so I don't feel like a guilty mother. It's just lovely. It's a really nice time of the day, and that's the point where actually I eat breakfast at that point and get to relax, and I probably should do housework, and instead I catch up on TV that I've missed. Oh well. And then at 11:30 or 11:20 I wake Eloise up and we head round to the school to pick Rufus up from school. But actually today my husband was working from home, so I left her here because she was still asleep, and I went and got Rufus by myself. It was actually quite nice to do that every now and then because then he gets my full attention on the walk home from school, and we get to chat about the day that he's had. At the moment this week they're learning about insects and mini beasts and things like that, which is like the worst subject. I hated that subject at school, but he loves it, so that's fine. And he's grown a little sunflower, which is really cute. He's brought it home, he's all proud of it. I'm just terrified that I'm going to kill it, though. I have no success rate with plants at all. I can keep 2 children alive. I cannot keep a plant alive, but we'll see. Anyway, so that was our morning, and then we usually have lunch pretty much as soon as we get home because he's hungry, he's tired, etc. Eloise woke up about 12:15 today, so she had lunch as soon as she got up, and then they get to watch a bit of TV, just chill out for a bit, and then I got them in the buggy and we went up the road to the library. We had a really nice time at the library. There were some other kids there, so we just played. We didn't do a lot of reading, but we did borrow some books and bring some home. And then we got home. Well, no. Then we went to Aldi on the way home, and Eloise fell out of the buggy. I'm still not entirely sure how this happened, but she did. She fell out of the buggy. And she bumped. She didn't hurt herself too badly, but I think because between the heat and the tiredness and being a bit thirsty, hence why we're going to Aldi to get a drink, and then the shock of falling out of the buggy, she just lost it, and she screamed the whole way around Aldi. And the only time that she would stop screaming is if I held her hand. It's very difficult to push a buggy and hold the hand of the person in front of the buggy. It's a quite tricky maneuver. We're talking about a double buggy here. It's like a tandem thing. So it's a tough one. But yeah, that's what she wanted me to do. So we did that. Then we got to the till. We got her a drink. We got her a snack. And that's when she calmed down, when she got her drink and her snack. So that was great. We got home. And then it was time to make dinner. So I did that. But before I could serve it, my children had decided to wind each other up to the point where Eloise was at meltdown mode. Now, meltdown mode it's like a tantrum, but it's where she cannot wind down. She is just winding herself up and up and up and up, and every time you think she's starting to come back down, it's almost like she's lulling you into a false sense of security, and then she goes, oh no, I'm really, really angry and cross still. So I put her in her bedroom to try and calm her down. She doesn't like that. She escapes from her bedroom, goes into our room, so then I close the door to our room, let her go to town on it while I serve up Rufus's dinner. I go back upstairs. She has pulled off all the covers off our bed and is lying face down, sobbing into the sheet, and I'm not allowed to look at her. If I look at her, it starts up again, so I have to just kind of go in, wait, and eventually she gets quiet. Her little thumb goes in her mouth, her other hand comes over, takes my hand, and she's just going and and then she comes down and has dinner as if nothing ever happened. And then we have bath time, and then we have bedtime. So the activities are pretty average. The emotions are not. And this day has been quite a good day for Rufus. Rufus has been pretty well behaved. There's not really been a lot of pushback on anything. But he's definitely at that age now where he is starting to push back. He's realising he can have a bit of control. And up until this point, he's been pretty compliant, which has been really nice. So it's been interesting watching him push back a bit. My response always is, I'm bigger than you. So, I'm the one that feeds you. So there's not a lot of pushback to be had here. But yeah, no, today wasn't too bad. It was, at the moment that Eloise was having her meltdown, I thought I was going to melt down, but, survived it. But generally it was not a particularly bad day. It's just a long day and a tiring day, and I wish my daughter didn't have meltdowns in the way that she does. And she's so cute, and she's just like the cutest face with these little curls, and you just think, how could she be so demonic? But at times she can be demonic. We don't talk about that in front of her. We don't mention that to her. I think the main reason that she can be like that is that she knows she's cute. And she knows that she can get away with quite a lot, because she'll look at you with her little wide eyes and long eyelashes and her curls and just be like, but I'm so cute, mummy. You can't be mad at me forever. So, but yeah, that was my day today. So I may put out pictures of my children quietly reading a story together in the library or eating all their dinner up. But in between those two events, stress. So you're not alone. We all have days like it. And again, my love goes out to everybody. Alright, and I'll see you next week. Bye.